Right, next step is filing, and how we know that our product is dry is when we tap with the end of our brush. You can hear a tapping sound. So that's us now ready to file and shape the nails. So we're going to use our tip cutters first. Spring always faces towards your client. Hold straight, hold the tip of the extension with your thumb. Take it to the length you want. Remember, your tip cutters will cut through both tip and acrylic, and I'm going to cut the tip off. Discard the tip in the bin. And I'm now going to file the nail into shape. Now remember, we've took all our sharp edges off the file. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just get the shape that I want. So we're going to do square. Right, so I've got my 100 grit file. I'm going to file my nail into its shape. Remember, it is not a natural nail, so you can file back and forward. You've taken the edges off your tip, off your file, so that means that there's less chance of cutting your client. So we're just going to file till we get our shape. Just check. Make sure you're holding the client straight forwards, and that will give you a nice straight nail. Right, I'm then going to show you how I would file. So what you're going to do when you file, you don't go back and forward, you're filing round. Right, I'm going to draw a line up the centre of the client's nail because we're going to be filing two halves but in one direction. Okay, so we're going to take our file and we're going to file up and down the nail going across one direction. We're going to be manoeuvring the client's finger so that we're keeping that nice natural curve on the nail plate. So we're going to start, we're going to hold the client's skin back. We're going to move the finger back and forward. Filing. Right, I want you to keep checking. Look at the free edge, you want to keep that the same width all the way around. I'm then going to flip my file and file down the way. Right, so it's all in one direction. Right, I'm then going to move on to my 150 grit file, and this just is a smoother file, and what that will do is it will just take out the scratches created with your 100 grit file. Okay, so we're just going to file down the opposite side. Keep checking, you want to make sure that this is the same width all the way down. I'm then going to move on to my 180 grit file, which is a smoother file again, and we're just filing exactly the same. Check your free edge so that make sure that your free edge is the same width all the way around. Take your file off the free edge to thin that part of the nail down. Check. Right, keep checking. Right, so once you've got your nail smooth, the thickness that you want, you're then going on to your 240 grit file. Right, and what this file is doing is it's taking out most of the scratches that have been created with your other files. Right, hold the tip quite firmly as it could pop off. Right, so keep filing that. Right, so once we've done that and we've got it smooth, we're going to apply our cuticle oil to the cuticle. Massage in, but also massage it over the natural nail. We're going to take our 240 grit file again, and we're going to smooth over the whole of the nail extension. And what this is doing is getting your nail ready for buffing so that you can buff it to a high gloss. We're now ready to buff the nail with our freeway buffer, so ensure first that there's no dust on the nail. So remember, an nylon brush, remove all the dust. We're going to take our freeway buffer and we're going to buff the natural nail to a high gloss shine. Right, and this is our finished nail. And you can see that it's buffed to a high gloss shine. I've taken the nail off just to give you a closer look to see how nice and shiny this is. Right. And if you look at the free edge, it's the same width all the way round. So this is your aim, to get a reasonably thin nail and the same thickness all the way round, thinner at the free edge and the same width all the way round the free edge. Right, the next important thing is cleaning your brush. So you've got a bottle of brush cleaner here, right, and what you want to do is you want to put your brush in your bottle, bring it out, wipe it on a tissue. Now as you're wiping it and rolling it, because you want to keep this nice point. Right, so your brush at the end of class, at the end of every set of nails, should remain like this with this nice point. No acrylic stuck to it, nice and smooth. You're going to lay it down to dry for at least 10 minutes before you replace your lid. Now I know I'm not using the pink brush you've got, but you've got this lid on it. Right, so once it's dry, you can take your brush and replace the lid. Don't replace the lid before it's dry because it'll just stick to it, and don't put the little plastic piece back on either because that will stick to it too. So nice point on your brush. A good brush does good nails.